if you're waiting for motivation to take action, you've lost, is the biggest trap. The reason I say that is I want to take you back 5 years ago when I was working in the Lacoste boutique store in Regent Street, right next to Selfridges, if you guys know where London is. It was basically in a corner. The door was always locked. It was a very small boutique that many people knew it even existed, of how small it was. And as I was on the shop floor all of the time, I would always be scrolling on my phone, looking at people that lived the life that I wanted to live, because the truth is I did want it, but I was so afraid to admit it just in case I never made it. And again, I'll save myself the embarrassment. And every day would go by, and I'd realize that I'm still in the same position, doing the same things, expecting for a different result. And I was always writing down on a journal the life that I wanted to live, the things that I had to do, but I'll never end up doing it. And the moment I feel motivated, I'll start to finally get my camera out, and then I'll find all of these excuses to why I will never start, because I don't have the right camera, because I don't have the right phone, the right mic. Like, there would always be something that would stop me. Now, that's when my very goal would be the very thing that would destroy me, because I'd get so overwhelmed that I wouldn't take action because I wanted it to be perfect, that then eventually I wouldn't do anything, and that was just affirming where I was going to be. And that created a big fear inside of me that, am I never going to achieve this outcome that I want? And this fear of, is my future going to look exactly like my current reality? And that will start to create this desperation, and it would make me feel this deep emotion of fear that I can't explain it, that I feel like an itch in my skin, and I can only see how dark this moment was until I finally had a perspective shift, which I'm going to share with you today. I was someone who was so governed by my emotions. But when I realized that that fear you can actually use for fuel. Now, I'm going to clarify this to you. Whenever I would think of me never reaching this goal, of how terrible my life was going to be, then that would paralyze me from taking action. Now, once I realized is that if I don't take action, that fear that I have is going to become a reality, then I said, so what other choice do I have? And that made me take the action regardless. And that's when it turns into discipline, because all discipline is the ability to take action towards a desired goal that you have. The truth is, everyone is disciplined. You probably go to a job that you hate. I was going to a job that I didn't like. I was disciplined because regardless of how I felt, sick, not sick, I would show up because I had a very strong why. That's why you need a strong enough why, that you not chasing it is going to hurt you more than actually chasing it. And that's when you become very, very powerful. That's when you actually become disciplined. It is that small perspective shift that will allow you to take continuous action. Now, this is something that you need to understand is all about controlling your emotions to your favor. I would succumb to my emotions. If I was happy, I would act based on what happiness felt like. If I was sad, I would act based upon what sadness felt like. So I was expending all of this energy, and I was going around in circles, going nowhere, realizing I was so far away from this goal, and it felt like it was never going to going to come about. Why? Because I was going around in circles. That's why you have to take aligned action, and it's going to feel very, very uncomfortable. That's why the key, what you actually want is not happiness. Everyone thinks that you want happiness. You want fulfillment, because everything that you want is on the other side of that thing that you hate doing, is being able to go past your emotion. That's why that's the power of being consistent, is you have to realize that this is what I have to do. Don't get overly excited when something bad happens, when something good happens. Don't get overly upset when something bad happens, because they're just moments. The same way you had a good moment, you can have a bad moment. The same way you have a bad moment, you can have a good moment. And that way you can come back to that clarity, to the way of thinking, of doing the things that you know you're meant to do instead of doing the things that you feel like doing. That's why I tell you guys that you are not your emotions. You are your identity, who you choose to be, but it's just repetition. Every time that you feel sad or feel upset or feel like you want to act based on that emotion, realize that I'm doing something that feels natural to me. And what has doing things that feel natural led you to being that person? You don't want to be with the same results that you don't want, which is why I tell you that discipline is the ability to do the things that you don't feel like doing, but doing them regardless, because you know where it's going to take you. The key is you need to have a strong enough why. Those are the simple 3 steps. Is you have to create the identity of the person that you want to be. What would this person do? How would he react in this moment? The second thing is make sure you have a list of non-negotiables, of daily outputs, which is going to make it happen. If you want to get in shape, you go to the gym and eat right. If you want to grow a personal brand, you post content and research. Regardless of how you feel, you get it done anyway. And the third one is being consistent, is not allowing your emotions to govern you. The way you allow yourself to not be governed by this emotion is having a strong enough why. The same way your why of going to work, getting paid, is the very reason why you always show up. This is going to be the same thing. You have to look past yourself. Stop thinking about I. Stop thinking about what's actually going to fulfill you. And when you actually get it done, you feel so proud of yourself. You look in the mirror and you respect the person that you are, because you actually follow through with the things that you say. So that is the secret on not relying on motivation, on becoming disciplined. Become the person that you have to become to create that outcome, having this clear identity. The second thing is having a set of non-negotiables where you don't negotiate, you get it done regardless. Is it going to be hard? Yes, but it's still a choice, and everyone opts for the easiest choice. That's why I have systems that I fall into place to create a person who's consistent and disciplined. The key is being disciplined. And the price that you're paying for not being disciplined is every day that you're wasting. Every day that goes by is proof that you don't want it as much as you say you do, and guaranteeing you to live a life that you hate. What is that? The life that you want to live, not ever coming to fruition. So the cost of not being disciplined is costing you everything. Now, if you like this video, put down in the comment section below what was your biggest takeaway. And if you want me to help you become your best version, someone who's consistent, disciplined, and resilient, book down a call to see if I can help you to become the person that you are proud of and you will respect. With that being said, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe.